Hello everyone and welcome to the Beard Talks Metal. In this episode I'm going to be talking about some new metal tracks that have been released over the last week or so. The first one of these is Life of Agony's new track, A Place Where There Is No Pain. Came up in my Facebook feed yesterday, so I thought I'd give it a listen. I must admit I've not really listened to Life of Agony since the River Runs Red days. I must admit I preferred them when they were more of a hardcore band than their sound that they're currently in. So this is their first track since 2005's Broken Valley. Again, I didn't really pay much attention to that album when it was released. I stopped listening to them in '97 when they did Soul Searching Sun, I think it was. Didn't really like that album, but still go to River Runs Red every now and again, just to give that a go. So I wasn't going into this track with any particular expectations. I suppose from the kind of the obvious point is that it's their first track that they've recorded following Keith, now Mia Caputo's transition. Now, from my point of view, I think metal's been really accepting of transgendered people. If you look, you've got Marissa, who plays for Repulsion and Cretin. I think there's a grind band as well called Hers, which you really need to check out. But that's another story. So it's good. Life of Agony have been playing with Mia on vocals, and it's not really impacted their sound particularly. But as I say, listen to this track yesterday, quite late in the afternoon, and it's okay. It's just not really what I want from Life of Agony. But if you're into that kind of Soul Searching Sun and Ugly and Broken Valley and their newer stuff, then you're really going to enjoy it. It's not going to stop me from listening to the album. I'll probably check it out on Spotify, but it's not mind blowing. It's not going to change the world or anything. It's just a decent kind of hard rock track. I always thought that Mia had good vocals anyway, so it's not going to change anything, any opinions that I have on it. But it's just not really giving me what I want from a Life of Agony track. So the next track I want to talk about is Fit for an Autopsy. They've dropped a new track called Heads Will Hang last week. Now I'm not a big deathcore fan. There's a few albums that I like, a few bands that I don't mind listening to. Fit for an Autopsy is actually one of them. I first came across them because they had Nate Johnson on vocals on their first record, and Nate Johnson you might know from Premonitions of War, back in sort of early 2000s, that kind of heavy metalcore type stuff. So I've followed them over time, and so they've just dropped this new track, Heads Will Hang. It's coming from the new record called The Great Collapse, which is due out on March 17th. Now, I guess from my point of view, again, because I don't really like deathcore, but again, it's quite a solid deathcore track, I suppose. Always got that nice kind of heavy, kind of chuggy guitar all the way through it. It's got all of the sort of main jigsaw pieces of a deathcore track. It's got some clean vocals in there. It's got some breakdowns at the end of it. Again, it's not going to change the world. If you like that sort of thing, you're going to really enjoy it. And actually, I think if you've been following the Suicide Silence singles that have been dropped, and if anything from the internet's going by, people are not too happy with what they're doing. Maybe you want to check Fit for an Autopsy out instead, because that will kind of cure your deathcore ills essentially. It's not too bad. I'm not going to really pay a great deal of attention to it. Again, I'll probably be checking the album out on Spotify when it comes out. Yeah, solid deathcore track. People are saying, "Oh, this is how you do cleans in deathcore," and I must admit, you know, they sound pretty good. He's got a good voice. It's not Nate Johnson anymore. I don't actually remember who the vocalist is at the moment. But yeah, it's all right. So yeah, check it out. I'll put a link to that in the comments below as well. Now, like, you obviously don't know me personally, but one thing you will know, you will find out about me is I'm a bit of a sucker for just belligerent, dirty hardcore, basically. So that's why I was excited that Deez Nuts had released a new track yesterday. So they got an album coming out on April 7th called Binge and Purgatory. It's called, and the track that they released yesterday is the first 2 tracks off of that album in one video, and it's called Binge Purgatory. So I'm going to give a link to the video in the description. It's quite, you know, it's cheesy as hell. There seems to be a thing about hardcore bands at the moment filming videos like they're kind of 90s hip hop artists. So it's in the club, and you know, there's lots of women and everybody's drinking and having a good time. But their vocalist is obviously having a bit of a sad time. All this stuff going on around him, but he's sad. But I don't care about that. You know, I really don't care about the lyrics. I'm just literally, I want to listen to it because it's just dirty, mosh happy, chuggy, you know, and that's all I want, really. I just want to put my headphones in, go to the gym, run on the treadmill, whatever it is that I'm doing, and I just want to listen, stick it on my gym playlist, basically. And it ticks all the right boxes. It's got a really, really good kind of chug riff, starting around about the 2-minute mark. Really, you know, gets your head going like that. And again, I probably will buy this album because I just love dirty hardcore. I don't know what it is about it. So the album itself has got guest spots from Jamie Jaster, and everybody's favourite hardcore, I want to say comedian, but he's not entirely, Scott Vogel of Terror, and everybody is used to his vocalisms and stuff like that. So I look forward to that. It'll be a good laugh, and it'll go straight onto my gym playlist, I expect. So last but not least is the new Mastodon single. So that was, again, I think that was released on Thursday or Friday, and it's called Show Yourself. Now this came straight up on my news feed, and I was literally laying in bed, and my alarm went off about 6:30 in the morning, and I was like, new Mastodon track, gonna have a listen to that. And I'll be honest with you folks, this is not what I was expecting. After Sultan's Curse, which seemed to be on the right kind of aggressive Mastodon kind of sound again, you know, I was really hoping this is the way that the whole record was going to go. Show Yourself has proved me totally wrong, but I really enjoy it still. I've actually listened to it 4 or 5 times now. The first time I listened to it, I was like, wow, this is just a Weezer track. There's nothing wrong with Weezer, but if I want to listen to Weezer, I will listen to Weezer. I don't need Mastodon doing it. But as time's gone on, and I've listened to it kind of 4 or 5 times now, it is actually just a really, really solid pop rock tune. But it's Mastodon doing pop rock, which means, you know, you've still got the great kind of drum fills, Brand's drum fills, and a really, really solid lead from Brent as well. It's going to sound great on the radio. It really is, and that is exactly what it is. It is a radio pop song. Don't expect anything heavy in it at all, because it's just not going to happen. It's just got nice choruses, nice riffs, nice hard rock pop riffs, yeah, it's, you know, it's different for Mastodon. I think well, I always knew that they have that kind of like pop sensibilities to them. I've seen the making of video of Emperor of Sand, and they're just going, you know, we want to make stuff that we want to listen to, which is fine. I can totally respect that. But is it something I'm going to spin on a regular basis? Probably not. But if I hear it at a barbecue, or even if I hear it on the radio, I'm going to go, yeah, cool, that's a Mastodon track. So yeah, so those are the 4 tracks that I wanted to cover. I just wanted to say again, thanks to everybody for comments and likes on my video. Thanks to the new subscribers that I've got over the last week or so. And yeah, you might have noticed my hat, if you can just see that there. It's a Wormrot hat that I bought from Earache Records a little while ago. I just thought it's just such a brilliant thing on the embroidery on there. It just says "Make Earache Grind Again," which I think is something we all wish they would do, because they're essentially they're a rock label now. They've not released, apart from the Wormrot record, they don't really do a lot of metal. So yeah, make Earache grind again. So yeah, thanks a lot everybody. I'm going to be hopefully releasing a new video as well, this either tomorrow or Monday, and it's going to be purely on the heaviest tracks in my collection. So yeah, hopefully everybody will look forward to that one. So thanks for tuning in everyone, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.